set up. That's ready to go. That's up there. Little monkey butt. Oh my god. Look at that butt. Oh. Yeah. You got it going on? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Christmas. So, how's everyone doing? Having yourselves a merry little Christmas? Just things going on. GameStop finishing strong today. Went up green, just a smidge, almost 31. We got Bill Pulte is declared war on Doug Cifu and Virtu, and he is apparently implying, negotiating, getting Apollo to take over Virtu, all their market making and everything else. Doug Cifu went silent on his Twitter. He went private after being like, "Fuck you, I'm a man," whatever. And then we also had I should point out the Apollo thing. Apollo thing is interesting because Pulte would always play Taylor Swift's "Only the Young" like all the time. And he must have had rights to it because otherwise none of the monetization could have happened on the PP channel. Apollo is the evil giant private equity group that owns all of Taylor Swift's catalog, which forced Taylor Swift to re-record her entire catalog so that and then have Taylor's version of everything because they refused to like sell it back to her or whatever. So I mean, it's going to be weird, regardless of whatever's going on. Then we got Trump trying to steal the Panama Canal from the Panamanians. And then we have him trying to buy Greenland again, threatening to make Canada 51st state. But then Canada was like, we'll put a NATO base in Canada. And Trump also was like, weird things like that going on. The report on Matt Gaetz got released, and lo and behold, turns out he's a child trafficking, rapist, pedophile, drug addict. So, just like everyone said he was, and the whole thing, like the report never would have been released if Matt Gaetz hadn't snorted some white courage and been all pissy at his former colleagues in the House. He just shut up. Like withdrew his nomination for AG. Remember, they're gonna make the drug-addicted child sex trafficker attorney general. If he had just like withdrew his nomination and just shut up, it never would have been released. And he may have had a career later in life, but he had to be all like Miss Prissy Pissy, and the House, which had a policy of not releasing things against people who are no longer members, were like, you know what, fuck that, we are releasing this, and then they did, and. Yeah, so he got what he deserved in that one. Anything else to add there, Floor Dog? No, just chewing on a bone, having a good time. Okay, so that's all I got for the moment. Let's see here. We're at that one, right?
Houston, we have a problem.
Throw away the plastic thing. All right, so we're shaking. We're shaking, bacon. How's it going? What we got here? Lone Wolf first. N9, no. No. Case Chapman third. Trey the third. F in fourth. Case Chapman. Some interesting tidbits in the global Dom case. Go Global, Dream on Me case, credit bid incoming. Yeah, so it appears that Dream on Me, who was the winning bidder for the Bye Bye Baby assets and IP, have been trying to buy this Bye Baby since 2021. And so Go Global's whole like, hey, how about you guys help us out here thing might not work out because they've literally been in talks before then. And Go Global had insider information that they're going to go into bankruptcy a month before bankruptcy. Very interesting, weird things going on there. Which shows that the board failed in its fiduciary duty in granting Ryan Cohen a serious reply to his offer to buy the company when it was valued at $400 million and take on its $5 billion in liabilities. So, yeah. Oh, other news, speaking of taking things private, the Nordstrom family got the funding together to take Nordstrom's private. So, I wonder if Ryan has anything to do with that. I'm not sure. But they're going private. If you don't know, the Nordstrom family live like, I don't know, 6 miles that way from me. I've been to one of their houses before. They're very rich. They have a very nice house. So that's happening. Lone Wolf query: if no labs in testing had accuracy rate in the high 90s, why are they wasting time tweaking the device instead of getting FDA approval right away? Haven't they heard the expression snooze you lose? I think what it comes down to is they want to get the algorithm as perfect as possible. So they've got the device. They have there's like the standard deviation within its readings, and they want to narrow that down so that there's less error. And you want to like dial in your algorithm to figure out where the outliers are wrong, and then take that version to the FDA so there's no doubt. Because you don't want to take it half baked and producing, that 11% error somewhere in there when you can get it down to like 5, and then the FDA has no choice but to approve. I think that's the reason why you want it consumer ready and as perfect as it's going to get before you take it in there. Alexander K, happy holidays, Susan. Happy holidays, Alexander K. Chris and Christine Reilly, 9th sweet, my first top 10 finish. Is it factory? 5 plus 5 ST? 5 plus 5 street? 5 plus 5 tenths. That's what I meant. Okay, I get it now. Corporate Walnut, BBY, done by end of the year, Bambit. No. I don't think BBY gets done until after the new year at this point. There's too much you got to do paperwork-wise for all the shareholders and everybody. You just be fucking everyone over doing it before January 1st. So I think if BBY gets done, it's going to be after New Year now. Just too much to do. But I won't ban you. Dead Bass, do you think anything will happen to Matt Gaetz? I mean, he probably won't be able to run for office again. He might be able to get a job in the Trump administration doing something. But at this point, he's probably going to be just set adrift as like a toxic has-been. So he'll probably go like the Madison Cawthorn route, and you'll never hear from him again. Hopefully. Corporate Walnut, also, what's in Greenland? So many minerals. Greenland is fantastically rich in gold, diamonds, emeralds, sapphires and rubies, rare earth elements. And the fact that the whole thing is melting means there's going to be more arable, livable land more times of the year, more access to those minerals. Even though the whole planet is dying and collapsing, you will still be able to get rich off of things in Greenland. Plus, Greenland gives Denmark a huge cut of rights to the Arctic. So if we pull up ye old Google Earth here. So the way the Arctic Treaty works is, that's a calculator. We want you. So the way the Arctic Treaty works is anyone with coastline going to along the Arctic Sea gets rights up to the North Pole. So the North Pole is about right? So the United States has rights going from the tip of the Bering Sea here all the way up and all the way down to the edge of Canada. Canada goes from that point all the way out to Baffin Island here. And then Greenland gets or Denmark gets this sliver. Iceland technically gets a sliver because they're down here, and then Norway gets their chunk, and then Russia basically is like this entire section here, all the way out here. So Russia is like half of the entire Bering Sea because there's lots of oil, and this you can see from the picture here. The shelf is pretty huge, and the shelf is where you'll find petroleum products. So you'll be able to get oil probably off all of this along here. The North Slope is where where Alaska gets all its oil. Tons of oil to be found in this huge shelf off of Russia. So there's tons of mineral rights there. So if the United States could somehow convince Denmark to like trade Greenland full of all these mineral resources for Puerto Rico, which he's trying to do before, then the United States gets another chunk of shelf into the Bering Sea, or sorry, the Arctic, for mineral and energy rights. That's the whole point. And yeah, so the whole thing's melting. This is all going to the ocean. It's going to turn off the Atlantic current, the Gulf Stream, and then plunge Europe into darkness and cold, and cook the entire southeast to make it uninhabitable. And the sea levels will rise 20 feet, and everyone will die, and that'll be that. So, yay. Anywho, that's what's in Greenland. Oh, crap. Up there, slapped in the butt.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, turn it off this time, ding dong. I had a good streak going. I don't know how many shows it was, but I had a real good streak going. Well, hey, kitten. You can come in here and terrorize everything again? Well, I guess that's what we're doing. We're going to put holes in the chair. Don't you climb up there. Last time you went up there, you knocked everything off, and then... Come here. You've already ruined the sweater, so I might as well let you tear more loops into all the knitting, huh? I'm going to get a new Naked Santa sweater because of you. Okay. Oh, I turned it into off. Whew. I thought I already forgot again. All right. Fabrizio. Blah. Bleh. 8319. Are there stocks other than VIX that measures volatility? Oh, I mean, most of them are VIX related, like UVXY, things like that. There are ones that do volatility for specific areas. Like DRV does it for real estate and like mortgage-backed securities. Oh man, I think if I remember correctly, Don Caesar Shadem put a whole list up in the subreddit a long time ago. Don, if you're watching, can you send us a link and I will post it? I can't remember where it was. I think he did it. I know he did one for like fusion and like rare earth or something. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, Crayon Green super chatting. Merry Christmas. Thank you for informing, entertaining. Well, thank you, Crayon Green. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all, and to everyone. A naked Santa Claus with a little burning fireplace, but it's all torn up because I put the sweater away. I only wear a sweater once a year, and I put it away, and somehow the cats dig it out from the closet and then make a bed on it every year and just like pull all the threads out. Anyway, soon it'll just be like, as I said, one night only, and there'll just be a giant hole where Santa Claus was. But thank you, Karen Grand Green. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to do this. Also, is everyone hearing me fine? I fixed the microphone, I think. For some reason, when the computer did its update and rebooted, it put the microphone from 100 down to 8. And that's why I sounded like I was in another room. So, here we are. Vizio guy, nice package. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Antonio Baez, happy holidays. Happy holidays. It's a factory. If one was concerned about World War III, what would be a good military contract or ETF to buy into? I don't know about ETFs, but probably anyone that makes drones. Robots will be flying everything and doing all the dirty business for us, which is one advantage China has is their huge, giant drone capabilities and factories. uh, they'll be able to do drone swarms unlike anyone's ever seen. And right now in Ukraine, they've sort of pioneered the use of drones in warfare. But even then, that's one dude, one operator with a headset doing single missions. Now imagine a truck showing up, releasing 10,000 swarm drones to just overwhelm air defenses and just annihilate everybody on a battlefield. That's probably going to be the future of this warfare. And you can build these drones for $20, right? Put a little chip in them. They just feed off each other with AI and go zap, 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 and just blow up on everything. Which, considering the fact that you can use one of these little drones with a small enough warhead, like a tungsten warhead with thermite in it, and it can just blow up a $5 million tank, like that is a huge cost benefit analysis right there, or cost benefit advantage, I should say. Yeah, so I'm not sure what American companies would be on the drone forefront. It seems like a lot of American drones focus on like big drones, might carry Hellfire missiles, whatever, but not like these small little terrifying ones. If you've ever watched any video footage from the Ukraine war, the sound of a drone over your trench is absolutely terrifying. Terrifying. Like, you're sitting there, hovered down here, like the world's worst mosquito, and you're just praying the operator doesn't see you and just drive that thing into you, and then you explode in 1,000 pieces. It doesn't matter how much shape you're in. You could be like the big 300-pound linebacker, handsome, buff, chiseled, all the Kevlar and machines, and then some drone just turns you into goo. That's going to be the terrifying bit of World War III, is those everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Like, I think the one thing the Terminator got wrong was that they're going to have these like humanoid robots smashing around. No, it's going to be little 1 kilogram drones blowing everything up. Anyway, on to happy notes. Bill Quinn Super Chats. Houston, something towards a new rock hammer. Well, thank you. And Chris Taylor, a little something for the War Rig Fund. Happy holidays. Thanks for another year of great streams. Thank you. I almost pulled the trigger on a War Rig today. Oh, man. It was a 2013 Tundra. It would have been lifted, so that's sweet. Don't have to invest in that. But it was a New Jersey car. And having to go out to New Jersey and bring it back, that's, at the moment, I don't have time to do that. B, it also, East Coast cars, all the salt they put on the roads is just destroy their vehicles. We don't do that out here. We don't put salt on the roads. We just don't do it. It snows, I don't know, maybe once, twice a year. And then when it does, we go, oh, well, we'll just hang out at home until it melts. And so we don't bother putting salt on the roads so our cars don't rust. So getting a rusty vehicle, like, you look at a 20-year-old truck here, it looks brand new. You look at a 7-year-old truck from like upstate New York, it looks like it's been through hell and back. So I think I'll probably stick to West Coast vehicles if I can, so I don't have to deal with rust crap. But thank you. There's an auction for some Washington vehicles coming up tomorrow. Maybe we'll get a War Rig in that. We will see, but it's coming. I already have a request from someone I know that recently graduated with a geology degree from UW, who's like, can you take me and some of my classmates out to go look for gold and gemstones? So, without a truck, I can't do it. I just haven't been able to do my fun rock stuff for years now. So I need to get a stupid truck just so we can go do that. Right, Monkey? You want to go on road trips? Actually, you hate road trips. You think road trips are the worst thing in the entire world. But you're going to go on them anyway. You like the destinations. You just hate getting there. So, perhaps I'll be in possession of a truck tomorrow. Cran Green gifted 5 memberships. Ooh, does some lurker hunting here. Daniel Batchelor, Marvin G, Chi-Town Chapin, Aaron Salentine, Fabrizio, Freddie Ruxpin. Nice. We got at least one in there. I think Marvin G, Chi-Town Chapin might be a lurker. Lisa Sa. Trump attacks Panama Canal while it's buying Greenland. Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, like, the history of the Panama Canal, it's a strong basis for some really fucked up shit that the United States did in the Western Hemisphere. So Panama and Colombia were one country. You know what? We might as well go look at a map while we talk about this. So Panama and Colombia, this was all part of Colombia here. So this is one nation. And the French came in, and the French were like, hey, let's build a canal. And so they wanted to build the canal. And if you don't know, the canal kind of actually runs almost like north-south, because the hooky-doo in the bend in Panama here means the canal comes from the north and goes to the south, basically. It's not actually like east-west as one would think, looking at the overall structure of Central America. So the French came in and they tried, and malaria basically just took everyone out, and they spent way too much money, and they just abandoned the project. They started in like 1899 or so, and it lasted a few years, and then they were toast. And then the United States was like, you know, we need something that can help us connect like our Pacific Navy with our Atlantic Navy. So maybe we should do this thing. And so they went to Colombia, like, hey, Colombia, can we continue this project? Colombia's like, we don't trust you. And the United States is like, how about this? We will invade. We will slice off this chunk of Colombia. We will declare Panama its own nation. And then we will sign a treaty with ourselves declaring the canal zone as Dominion of the United States of America. And the Colombians were like, what are you doing? And then the basically United States government created a puppet government in Panama that sort of fleeced and terrorized the population. Also, we could have the canal zone here. And so we started digging, and 35,000 Americans, and who knows how many people from this region died building the canal. Malaria is a motherfucker. And my great-grandfather was an engineer on the Panama Canal. He did not die, thankfully, because if he did, I probably wouldn't have been born, because he worked on the canal before my grandfather was born. So he was there through 1914 as one of the engineers, and they built this thing, and then created a puppet state in Panama. And then Jimmy Carter in the 1970s was finally like, okay, we'll give the Panamanian people the canal back. We eked out some rights for Americans to use it and everything, but the people of Panama now control the canal that comes through here. Now, at the moment, the Panamanians, they make some good money off of this. Just to get in the lineup can cost $50,000 to get in the lineup to pass from one side to the other. To jump the line, you could be a giant ship full of billions of dollars in cargo, and your shipping company can pay the Panamanians $1 million or more to skip in front of everyone in line to get through. Now, last year they had such a bad drought that certain size ships could not get through the canal because this giant man-made lake here. So what they have is you got a series of locks, because this is 100 feet above sea level, not sea level. So you go into the locks, you go in here, a series of locks, and they close the gates and they flood it and you rise up. You go on the next one, they flood it and then rise up. You go on the next one, they flood it and rise up. And then you pass into the lake. And then from the lake, you go through the cuts here, and you pass all the way through and out. And out the other side was another series of locks that would bring you down, or vice versa, lift you up coming from the Pacific side. And then you pass out into the Pacific Ocean. So you pay $50,000 to get in the lineup, and then you pay $1 million or more to cut the line and get ahead of everyone. So it's big money, especially with the number of ships passing here. But last year, with the drought, was kind of hardship for Panama, because the lake was too low, and the locks couldn't fill up fast enough, and they're having some problems because when the lake gets too low, you don't have, these ships are huge, so the draft isn't there to pass through. Now, you do have a series of some smaller locks for smaller ships and stuff. So you have multiple locks that can go, these ones can go each way. These for like big giant container ships. You have also the Chinese wanted to get control of this. And the Chinese have also said that they want to make a canal pass through Nicaragua. So you have Lake Nicaragua here, big giant freshwater lake. They want to make a canal because it's pretty low lying along here. You can find some river systems that are maybe couple hundred feet. So you have a larger series of canals going up to Lake Nicaragua, which is at what? Only 102 feet. So this you have to pass through these mountains here. Then you have some mountains you got to pass through on the other side, but it's only a few hundred feet. So you can dig that out. Just, you kill a bunch of Chinese people with malaria or whatever. And then you have what is a rather pristine environment. Lake Nicaragua is really, 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 really nice. And here in Ometepe, this little island here, this is actually the sister island for Bainbridge Island. So tons of my friends have lived here over the years, taught English. Right now we're raising funds for there's a new teacher that just moved there that needs like cancer surgery, and so raising funds for them. This is our sister island. My best friend's parents ran the exchange program that brought students from Ometepe here and students from Bainbridge to Ometepe for a long time. Anyway, this lake would get bull sharks. So this is the only freshwater body in the world that had native sharks in it. You can get sharks passing up like river systems and stuff, but you had actual bull sharks living in Lake Nicaragua for a long time. So I can't imagine what type of weird disaster zone you would get, like bringing in brackish water and stuff from here, what the Chinese would do. But anyway, the United States does have a very real national security presence needed for the Panama Canal. I totally get that. And you want to keep the Chinese from taking that over and not allowing your ships through if you go to war or whatever. And China making a canal through Nicaragua becomes all of a sudden a financial deterrent for the Panamanians. And you have all sorts of problems going there. But yeah, it's going to be a weird one, and I don't think Trump's helping anybody. Trump basically, through graft and other means, built a resort in Panama, and he didn't pay his taxes on it, so the nation of Panama seized it and closed it. And I think he's pissed off about that his resort in Panama City got closed down. And so now he wants to stick it to the Panamanians for fucking over his resort, which he was fucking over everyone else with. And I think that's the real reason behind the whole Panama Canal thing that he's, blabbing about right now. Anyway, the United States has always been messing up Latin America, and we will pay the price for that every day until finally we admit what we did and try to correct all the bad stuff we've done. Rose Moon, hey guys, I'm not any more lucky than I was yesterday, but something feels good lately. Do with that what you will. Well, there you go. All right. See what cleaning your room can do? Cal Garibaldi, can you please elaborate on the Doug Cifu bit? I don't know too much about it. Just that Doug Cifu in Virtu seems to be one of the main money makers doing trades on a lot of heavily shorted stocks. So you look at Bed Bath & Beyond, they're behind a huge chunk of that. You look at Metamaterials, they're behind like 90% of the trades. They have, for their size, they're not a very large market maker, but for their size, they have a lot of securities sold, not just purchased, that roll over every year. And Doug Cifu is just an asshole to begin with. So my guess is that he pissed off Pulte. Pulte bought a stake in both Virtu and Apollo, and he's been talking with both. Last week he's like, hey, Virtu, you guys should go private and fire Doug Cifu because he's a jerk. And Doug Cifu's like, fuck you. And then they fought on the internet for days, and then Doug Cifu all of a sudden went private, which tells me that is it Viola? Is that the guy's name? The actual owner of Virtu, like the big guy who started it? He probably called Cifu and was like, shut the fuck up, Doug. I'm in talks with Apollo. Something like that. And Doug went private. But Doug has these little minions out there, people like Platinum Sparkles, who will defend him to the ends of the earth. Right? Remember, Platinum Sparkles blocked me when I asked her, I was like, hey, I have a challenge for you. Say something mean about Doug Cifu. And rather than like saying something mean about Doug Cifu, she was like, block. So I was like, and my point has been proven. If you want to find out who owns somebody, you ask them to say something bad about the person who owns them. You will never find Trump saying anything bad about Putin. You can't do it. Be like, hey, Trump, say something absolutely mean about Putin. He will not do it. You can get him to say something mean about anybody else on Earth. But Putin, he will not do it. Why? Because that's who owns him. So just like you won't find him saying anything mean about Elon Musk anymore, because Elon Musk now owns Trump too. He's got a couple. My guess is Putin owns Elon as well. But why are you staring at me? Why? Is it because people sent super chats and you haven't got anything yet? Is that what it is? All right, fine. Fine, monkey. Fine. Come here. Take your ear. There you go. All right. Now she'll stop staring at me. All right. Close. Let me close this because the kitten will knock it on the floor and then there'll be pig ears everywhere. And the monkey will get so fat and so salty. Okay. Oh crap! There's a reset of the thing. Oh, super chat from EB. Wired drones now, which can't be jammed. Oh, they're like doing giant long wires to drones. Interesting. Going from wireless to wired. I mean, it's kind of like what were those shoulder-fired rockets that you'd fire and then you'd aim the rocket at the target. So if the target's moving, you just keep aiming the rocket, and it was wired to the rocket, and then that was the guidance system. It was went wherever direction you pointed it. That's where it went. Can't remember the other one. One of you veterans probably know. Yeah. Huh. Wired. Yeah. I mean, that would do it. You just need really thin filaments and hope that they don't get cut in the blades or anything like that. Javelins. Thank you. Javelins do that. Thank you. Saint Javelin. I should remember that. Monkey butt. Everywhere I look, there's just cat hair on the sweater. Cat hair everywhere. You can come up here and say hi because the kitten just went to go take over your downstairs bed. You know. Okay. Where were we? We were up here, and then we went to Rose Moon. Kyle Garibaldi. Oh, it's here. Doug Cifu thing. Peachy Sunday. Merry Christmas, Susan. Merry Christmas, Peachy Sunday. Lisa Sa. Is there a vaccine for bird flu? If not, which company could produce it first? There is a vaccine that the Finns have produced. Basically, what you do is you look at the likely ways the bird flu virus is going to evolve, and what genetic attributes would make it likely to infect humans. And then you put that into a vaccine, inject the vaccine. So I think the Finns did 6 different possible genetic mutations that can happen to the virus. And they put that into a vaccine, and they've been vaccinating their entire population with that. Which may not work perfectly, but is likely to cut down on symptoms and speed up reaction time for antibodies to spool up and fight it if it gets infected. That's the only one I've heard of. As far as I know, the entire Finnish population is basically vaccinated against bird flu at this time. I have no idea if there's any U.S. companies doing anything similar. There could be some that are spooling up. I will say this. Bird flu is coming. And it is going to be really, really, really bad. Really bad. Whatever you think COVID was, COVID will be child's play compared to what bird flu is going to do to the population. This is a virus that at the moment has had a 30 to 50% fatality rate when it's infected in people. There's a wild animal rescue, wild cat rescue here in Washington where every single large cat died. Tigers, lions, cougars, lynxes, bobcats, jaguars, panthers, cheetahs, dead. Every single one of them from bird flu. So I want you to think about like the practical aspect of a widespread human-to-human transmission of this virus. Meaning, if you're looking at, let's say it's even not even as bad as 30-50%. When it evolves, it gets its gain of function, and it's infecting human to human regularly with a fairly high transmission rate. Let's say it's 10-15%, which means 1 in 10, 1 in 6 people who get this will die. That is a collapse of the economy globally. not just collapse of the economy, but you're looking at grocery stores not being stocked with food. You're looking at the entire supply chain breaking down. You know, if the flu virus gets onto a ship at sea, the entire crew may die, right? The cook goes down, the captain goes down. All of a sudden, you have inexperienced people trying to pilot a ship across the ocean. They get sick, and no one can go to the helm. Like, you are looking at a 100% collapse of the supply chain. Food can't get picked. Entire poultry farms gone. Entire cattle. If it goes mammalian, if the genetic markers for infecting mammals, mammal to mammal, not just like cows getting shit on by passing birds and be like, oh, I got sick, but like cows coughing on each other and spreading, lambs, goats. You're looking at a collapse of the food chain. You're looking at a collapse of the economy. We're talking like you might have electricity in your home because the power plant is still getting fed by hydroelectric power or whatever, but there's no food at the grocery store, right? There's nothing. And like this is like society ending type potentiality with a pandemic with this high of a fatality rate. And think about the psychological aspect. People will be shutting down, right? Just like we did in COVID. You try to keep as many people from going to work as possible, slow the spread. Hospitals get overwhelmed. We're losing doctors and nurses like crazy because there's no vaccine yet, and they're trying to treat people, but 1 in 6 of them are dying. We're talking about long-term effects, people getting neurodegenerative disorders, dementia, multiple organ failures throughout the rest of their life, shortening lifespans a lot, and then these guys, right? These guys right here. Imagine everyone's pets dying as well. People are not going to psychologically bounce back from this like they did in COVID. If this little dude goes down because I gave her my bird flu and I survived and she didn't, I'm going to be a wreck. Right? Who wants that sweet little kitten terrorizing us all the time? You're hiding back here. She goes down. My roommate will be a wreck. It's just like we are not prepared for what this is going to do to us as a society. And we started building back the pandemic response team in the Trump administration. And one of the things, in the Biden administration, one of the things Trump promises to do day one is disband the pandemic response team again, with what could be the most devastating viral pandemic probably since Europeans came to the Americas. It's going to be really, 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 really brutal. So, at the moment, every time I go to the grocery store, I'm getting like an extra 20, 30 cans of canned food. I'm doing my prepping. At the moment because I think probably within the next year we'll see that genetic marker for the transmission from mammal to mammal and then human to human, and it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong. So yeah. Think about that. Just ponder on it. Fill your pantry. Imagine that. Hope that we've got some. I have no idea who's making stuff, but my guess is that the big boys, your Nova Pharmaceuticals, Pfizer, those guys will probably be the ones. AstraZeneca. They'll be developing. Hopefully, they're developing now vaccines for it. So invest in pharma. Nico Daru, ticker TRA, had a big spike today after putting out a statement of a bird flu vax. Okay, TRA. Let's look up TRA. Ticker TRA. TRA's pharmaceutical. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. That's still on Google Earth, and that is there. There we go. Okay. TRA went from, where were we? We were at like 11, spiked up to 16 at some point today, and then mellowed out around 12 and change. TRA Pharmaceuticals, common stock. Well, there you go. Okay. Let's do TRA bird flu. announces progress of developing. There we go. PR Newswire. Okay. Trial Pharma announces progress in developing Tixovaxer marbles. I cannot. Pharmaceutical names are the dumbest shit in the entire world. Tvoxerver Moboxol. Like, our tongues aren't even made to like try to follow that. What? Who names this shit? Anyway, for H5N1 bird flu. An investigational agent, development, treatment, prevention, H5N1. And phase 1 dosing completed in healthy volunteers, potent inhibition of drug-resistant bird flu viruses in vitro. In vitro study in mice with H5N1 isolated from an infected dairy worker showed potent protection and suppression of virus replication in lungs. Phase 2 expected to begin in 2025. Trial Pharma is expanding its influenza program to address the potential threat of bird flu. Nice. So maybe these guys are someone you invest in for that. Let's hope that they pick the right mutation. So there you go. All right. So thank you, Nikodaru. No, well, there you go. There's your answer there, Lisa. Just maybe didn't see Houston being a Swiftie. I've heard the Only Young song because they played it on the PP show a bunch. But you could play me like probably any other Taylor Swift song. I wouldn't. I honestly, I was her for Halloween, but honestly, I don't know if I would recognize a single one of her songs. I may have heard them in the grocery store or something. But I could not hum one for you to save the life of me. Alex Bishop's here. Lisa saw Luigi gave a not guilty plea. I think Luigi actually has probably a pretty good case. For one, the eyebrows don't match up. When he was arrested, he had a unibrow. The potential suspect did not have a unibrow. The time it took him to enter Central Park on his bicycle and pop out the other side was mathematically impossible. It's a 23-minute bicycle ride. He somehow did it in 6 minutes. Plus, it appears evidence may have been planted on him by the Altoona police. So if you're able to prove that evidence was planted on you, that can throw the entire case out right there. So I think here's what I think happened. I think he probably had written some angry things about CEOs of healthcare companies. He maybe had a plan going, and he was on the NSA carnivore program watch list, and they used some illegal monitoring equipment, and they went, this guy, close enough, dark hair, handsome, we'll get him. And I think that's may have what have happened. Regardless, he's going to he's going to live on in as like a myth or a legend for the rest of his days, and people love themselves some Luigi. Splat. H. Jizzo. Could Jimmy make Heisenberg have certainty? Right now it is very much a Heisenberg uncertainty. We've got ourselves there's a Genie in the box. Is it a MOAS or is it not a MOAS? You won't know until you open the box, so it's both at the moment. Since 54, DOJ has declined to prosecute Matt Gaetz. Pedos, all of them. Yeah, the DOJ under Merrick Garland was just dog shit. If you are a Democrat who somehow manages to, win an election that may never happen again, you get into office after Trump, you fire every single solitary person who was appointed by Trump. You get rid of them. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you arrest them and haul them out of office. You get rid, you cut that cancer out. What you do not do is you do not leave Christopher Wray in at the FBI that was a Trump appointee. You get rid of him, you put your own person in there. right? And you don't get someone who's milquetoast, a milquetoast judge like Garland, who's like, norms, and you put him in as AG. You get somebody like Katie Porter, Kamala Harris, somebody who has been a brutal prosecutor throughout their career, taking down people, knowing how to build cases and get them through. You want somebody like that as your attorney general. And then you start taking down the criminals. You don't look at the ample evidence. Like, the exhibits in the piece, the report that was published today by the House showed text conversations between women, or in this cases, girls, who were being paid to have sex with Matt Gaetz, talking about how Matt hadn't sent them the money yet, and the best time to ask him is next time you're giving him a BJ, be like, "Gonna need my $400," right? This is ridiculous levels of evidence that this person was doing things unbefitting the office, doing things that were crimes, bringing drugs into the Capitol, like cocaine and other hard drugs into the Capitol and using them, showing people pictures of the women he was paying for sex on the floor of the House. Like, what the hell? And you know what's going to happen is that a huge contingent of the Trump people, or Trump, MAGA people, are going to be like, oh, well, it's all made up. No, it's not. It's not. Matt Gaetz was doing these things. He's always been doing these things. We've been telling you he's doing these things for years. We have proof he's doing these things. And you're just going, la 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 la. That's all you're doing. So, like, Matt Gaetz was the only person in the House to vote against the human trafficking bill. How much more obvious do you need to get? Like, well, shit, we can't have that happening. That cuts into business, right? Yeah. Big Z Zerp, Houston. Happy birthday. Thoughts on finger short squeeze? I have not thought about finger in a year. They were doing some nice cycles before. We're down $1 at the moment. What have we done last year? We had one spike at $3 in April, and it's been fall off a cliff here. So we're at $2. We've halved, and I have no idea. I have no idea what. Okay, the net income has collapsed, so their financials are looking really, really bad at the moment. So revenue's down, net income is way down. Did my mouse just die? It did, didn't it? Man. I guess I haven't plugged you in a while. Yep, you are dead. So might as well plug that guy in there. Which means I got to put you in the off position. And then put you in the on position. Hey, we're back. All right. There we go. So yeah. That's my guess, is that their financials are not doing too hot at the moment. So short squeeze, maybe, but I'm not seeing when it will be, because it is way down there. It has not been this low ever. No, it has. Down here. September 2022 was down at 70 cents. And it's squeezed up to 7.38. And then down here in 2020, it was at 45 cents. And it squeezed all the way up to $15. So it's had a few squeezes in there. Maybe we're making that bottom happen again. I don't have any shares. Maybe that bottom's happening again, and it will go puny pop up a few bucks. Yeah, you always hope. Chris Taylor, hi everyone. Merry Christmas and Festivus to the rest of us. Feats of strength. Adam M. Tilray stock looks like the new short squeeze. Tilray is doing that too again. I mean, Tilray popped with all the other weed stocks when GME happened. So we have 2021, December, January. It flew in January, ended up at $30, and then settled down. hasn't really done much recently. I mean, we were at buck 20, buck 19. We're at buck 40 right now, so it's up a little bit. But I think Tilray gets its pop finally when the House legalizes weed, just straight up decriminalizes it. So till then, there we are. Chris, did that one. Person with a name. Merry Christmas, Houston. Thank you. Chris Taylor, Houston, and chat. Frontline's newest episode covers Maui fires in detail. I recommend checking it out. I mentioned this last show, but I think you were on Top Chat. Oh, I may be on Top Chat. I'm so sorry if I was. I love Frontline does some incredible, absolutely incredible documentaries. If you want to see a good one about maybe 15 years ago now, they went around the world and went to, I believe, Japan, Taiwan, France, England, and the US, I believe. They went to those nations and they looked at their healthcare systems. And they basically were comparing the other systems. They had, fully socialized, you had half socialized, you had nonprofit care, something like that. So this guy went to all these different nations and he just interviewed people and talked about the cost of healthcare and everything. And the interviews are pretty phenomenal. Like, they go to the UK and they're talking to doctors, like, how much you get paid? They go, like, $500,000 a year. And like, that's actually comparable to how much American doctors get paid. Like, yeah, like, if I were to go to America, I'd probably make the same amount of money, but it'd be a pain in my ass because then I'd have to, like, hire staff, get accountants, do all this stuff. I'm just an employee. I just go in, they cut me a check every month, and that's it. But the cost of care in the UK is like a third of what it is here per person. And they interviewed a doctor, one of the doctors, and he talked about he went to a conference in like Michigan or Minnesota, and he had a heart attack while he was at the conference. And he ended up in the hospital, and he had a $600,000 bill. $600,000. This is like 2004. A $600,000 bill that he had to pay, and he was like, nope. Went back to England. He's like, I will never set foot in the United States again. That's it. I am done with your shithole country. I will never go back. So anyway, it's a great documentary if you can go find it. They also, it might have been Nova. Ah, crap. Was it Frontline? Was it Nova? They both do great ones. Might have been Nova. But there was a great one about the Dover, Pennsylvania lawsuit regarding teaching evolution. And they just basically took the court transcripts and actors just reenact the entire court case. And it was brilliant. So anyway, yeah. Thank you. Yes. I totally got off the topic of the Maui fires, but I'll check that one out. Rose Moon, my luck made double intro happen, I guess. Well, there you go. You used it up. Should have bought a lotto ticket instead. Lotto's at like $900 million, so, remember, if you are going to win the lotto, no, you didn't. Never, ever, 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 ever tell anyone that you won the lotto. Do not go claim it yourself. At the very least, form a trust, like an irrevocable trust or something, that will claim it on your behalf. So you'd be like, not Houston Wade's irrevocable trust. And that's who goes claims it. My plan, if I buy a ticket, because why not? $900 million. I play enough lotto tickets with options all the time. If I win the $940 million lotto, the odds are not in my favor, but if I do, no, I didn't. I will form an LLC, whether it's Delaware, whether it's Belize, whether it's Bahamas, Caymans, who knows? I will form an LLC. The LLC will own the ticket, right? They are the owners of that ticket. I will then get an attorney, and that attorney will help me shop that ticket to banks, investment banks, private equity, etc. And they will sell that ticket to whoever is willing to pay a good chunk of money. I have no idea what the cash payout will be. Probably like $400 million after taxes, maybe $350. So you go to these banks or private equity people and say, hey, the cash payout on this is $400 million. I will take $350. You sign this NDA, you send that money into the bank account belonging to the LLC, and we're good. And then they can never say where they got the ticket. They can go claim the ticket, whatever. You just do not do not be so excited that you go and claim a ticket and you're like, woo, look at me, I got the giant check, yeah. Horrible, horrible things happen to those folks. I'm somewhat insulated. I live in a very, very wealthy community where if I won $1 billion, people go, cool. And then they go on about their lives. But a lot of you do not live in communities that have billionaires living in them already. And so if you were in like, East Podunk or wherever you're from, all of a sudden claim that lotto ticket, your family members will start getting kidnapped. You will have weird relatives climb out of the woodwork. You will find threats upon your life. The first thing you have to do is get the fuck out of wherever you're living and probably never come back. Which is really sad, because you might enjoy where you're living, but, you may ruin it by all of a sudden being the richest person in town and everybody wanting their piece. You'll be facing lawsuits, people claiming that they got the ticket and they gave it to you for safekeeping, that they're the ones that picked the numbers for you. Like, you're going to be facing so many legal problems. You just don't claim it, sell it, form a trust, get the fudge out. And do not move to Palm Beach, where you then buy a whole bunch of dolphin statues and then go bankrupt in a year. One dolphin statue. That's all you need. You don't need to have a whole host of dolphin statues. Just one dolphin statue. Seems like every Christmas, one of the lottos goes to like $1 billion at Christmas time. Because we did the exact same conversation last year. Rosemoon, anyway, you won't win the lotto tonight because you used it all up on a double intro. I apologize. What not? Houston, has anyone told you that you favor the CEO Luigi took out? Someone sent me a picture of the CEO guy. He's, I can kind of see it. He's got kind of a fatter head than I do. Like, I think if our heads were side by side, his would be about this wide. But yeah, I can see it. I see it. Hostile takeover, Houston. What's happening with No Labs seems to be headed the path of extinction. They've been getting hammered. They did a teeny tiny little share offering, a $300,000 share offering, and the price has just fallen off a cliff. They're gonna have to focus on some PR, big time. It's up to 15 cents here, so it's at almost 15.50. It had gone below 14 at one point today, but it's up a little bit. So maybe they're getting close to being done with their share offering. Lisa saw Christmas treats for the pets, please. I did that already. And it looks like they've all abandoned me. Oh no, they're just hiding behind the ottoman. Bravo. What has our favorite epistemic trespasser brought us this month? Let's recap. A congresswoman making out with her own son. Somalis can't stop killing each other. Kamala's got this. Okay. Cheshire. What does the final decree of BBY is on 12/31/24 mean into bankruptcy? What do you think the holdup for reemergence? Thanks, Houston. You're the best. Merry Christmas. I thought they'd moved the final decree to 2026. That was originally 2024, and then they moved it last spring to 2026. That's what I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, that's I think it's when the final decree is when they expect it to be like done. But I think they moved it. Lexington Productions, any news on Sears? Not that I know of, other than they're just closing up the last of the stores, even though they opened that new one in Burbank. It's kind of weird. They're closing the one here in South Center, which is in Tukwila, Washington, after Christmas. That's the last one in Washington. But yeah, other than that, not a peep. Off the Grid Hero Super Chats, blockchain, trade versus settlement, next bridge hydrocarbons you choose. Next bridge going blockchain would be a game changer. I think next bridge. I think if you're going to have like a T0 type system, you're going to want two kinds of people to jump on board. You're going to want a smaller medium cap that's gotten shorted like crazy, and you're going to want a blue chip. And what you will see with that small medium cap is an immediate short squeeze happen, to the point where the stock price goes so absolutely wild that it creates headlines and news across the entire globe, financial industry. that's in mainstream news. Like on welcome to NBC News, and they talk about this unknown stock going to $1 kajillion and making millionaires of everyone. Right? You're gonna want that type of PR because then everyone who has a small cap stock is gonna go, well, shit, I'm gonna move my stock onto there, and you will have all sorts of unknown OTCs want to move on there because then they can't get shorted into nothingness again. And you want to have a blue chip because then that gives it legitimacy. Like not just making millionaires out of these small caps, but you want to have somebody who's established long-term, I don't know, a GE, Westinghouse, Ford, I don't know, put someone like that on there. And then you're like, okay, well, these legacy companies, these legacy blue chips, they're on board with it also. This is the future. And that will start bringing in more legitimate stocks along with the OTC ones are all hoping to have their short squeeze moments. So that's what I would rather have. Settlement, yeah, I'll take it if it comes. But I would rather have the blockchain and let the market decide what the hell the price is going to be because I think it's going to be really, really high. Bitcoin. Merry Christmas, Jimmy holders. This is launch time. I can feel it in my bones. I think January is going to be good. Going to be real good. Chris Taylor. No labs IP at all-time lows. Ouch, 2025 will be our year. Legacy Productions, Houston. Happy birthday. When will you be loading up on calls before the end of the year? Probably not until like January 8th, maybe before close, January 9th. Somewhere in there. Just in case at 4:20 p.m. Eastern on 1/9, Roaring Kitty posts something. I want to have my calls, I think, before close on the 9th. So that's what I'm shooting for. Because if you post something and things go nuts on that Friday and we push a bunch of shares in the money on the 10th, leading up to that giant yearlies on the 17th, then I think we can do some serious damage. So I'll probably be buying the 8th or 9th, loading up on those. I don't see myself playing too much with whatever price happens over the next 2 weeks. But yeah, the 8th, 9th, probably in there. And if we get huge gains on the 10th, let's say, I don't know, off chance Roaring Kitty does something at 4:20 p.m. on January 9th, and we wake up the morning of the 10th and stuff goes nuts, I may resettle. Like I may sell them all, wait until later in the afternoon when I know a whole bunch of stuff's going to be in the money, and then buy back in for the next week and just go from there. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, probably 8th, 9th. That's when I'll be getting in there. Vorzizi9, have you heard anything updates on GME or BBBY? GME, no. BBBY, a lot of stuff is getting posted from the Go Global Dream on Me lawsuit. Just showing that Dream on Me had their eyes set on this for a long time. Artemis, Merry Christmas, HW. Hope to give you a hug in person before next Christmas. Moas permitting. Well, Merry Christmas. I'll take a hug. Rhiannon Sartell. Would you please explain the implications of Trump moving his DJT shares to irrevocable trust? She previously said he wasn't going to sell the shares. Depends on who is running the trust, I guess. I don't know exactly. I mean, it's trust benefits him and no one else, so he still controls everything inside that trust. So my guess is that he's the trustee and the benefactor. So that'd be my guess, that he still controls all of it. So what I think DJT will be used for is a way for people to curry favor with Trump. That you will buy into his stock, cause the stock price to go up, make him wealthier. And if you do that, if you're the Saudis, the Qataris, Elon Musk, etc., you can then, curry favor. You can ask Trump to do things for you, and he will grant you your wish because you made him more wealthy. At the same time, it can also be a noose around Trump's neck. Let's say the Saudis jump in and through 20 different hedge funds and etc., they buy up the entire float of DJT, and they say, "Hey, Donald Trump, I need to do this thing." Donald's like, but I don't want to, right? And they go, "Well, we will sell every single share we have and crash the stock price, and you'll be penniless," right? They can threaten him that way. So he is now at the behest of anyone who wants to buy in. They now can curry favor with him greater than they ever could by renting hotel rooms at his DC hotel. Crane Green, 100% a drone sound is the most horrific sound of our times. It is a really terrifying, evil mosquito sound. It is. I remember it was sometime after high school. It was spring. I was home from college, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you want to go toss a frisbee?" And so we went to a school field, and we were tossing frisbee back and forth. And as we were tossing, we heard this like "boo" sound. Just the entire sky filled up with the sound. It was an airplane sound, but it sounded like dozens of them, and it was horrifying. And like after about 10-15 minutes of that sound, this entire fleet of like B-17s, B-25s, P-51 Mustangs, like dozens and dozens and dozens of them flew overhead for some sort of function at, I don't know if it was like Seafair or something, and they're all flying in. But like that sound, I can imagine you being in Dresden or being in London during the Blitz, and you know, the entire sky filling up with those prop planes, and knowing that it's imminent, that for like miles in all directions, these planes in formation just flying overhead, bringing death with them, right? That probably has the same psychological impact as being in a trench, hearing that drone trying to sniff you out like a bloodhound trying to find you just so it can just blow up right in your face. Horrific. Just, oh man, the future's gonna suck. Nanamoth wrote A. Juice Mammy asked the North Koreans about the sound of drones. Yeah, the North Koreans are definitely learning that out there in Kursk. Spencer Tundra, you're going to be in the right direction. I probably should have pulled the trigger, but again, like Rust. Again, Rust never occurred to me until I moved to Hawaii. I had moved to Hawaii. The first car I bought was 1988 Nissan Pathfinder. It was a nice car. It got great suspension, 4-wheel drive, kind of gutless. But did all right. And after about a year, I upgraded to a new truck, and I put the car up for sale. And being from Northwest, we have no experience with rusty cars. They just don't rust here. And in Hawaii, it's really humid, and you're next to the ocean, and things do rust there. So this guy, he's a lawyer. He called me up. He's like, "Hey, I'm interested in your truck. I have this little cabin up on the mountain. I just need a 4-wheel drive to get up there, and it doesn't have to be nice. Just something to get me up to the cabin and back on the weekends." So we took it for a drive. We drove up the mountain road, went to the cabin, came back. He's like, "It's pretty nice. I'm gonna take it to the mechanic." And as we pull into his mechanics, and the mechanic's like, "No, no, 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 no." Even before we got out of the car, he's like, "No, no, 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 absolutely not, no." And I was like, "What? What is he talking about?" He's like, "Look at this rust. Rust." I'm like, "It's been like that the whole time. It's fine." And he pointed to the hinges. So it's got the hatchback, right, that opens in the back. He pointed to the hinges, like, "These fuckers are gonna fall off any day now." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I use it all the time. It's fine." And so the guy ended up not buying the Pathfinder from me. And I was like, "Whatever." Not like 4 or 5 days later, I am driving to my friend's house. I hit a pothole, and the entire hatch fell off the truck. The back window exploded, and I see a rearview mirror just like spinning behind the truck. It literally broke right where that mechanic said it was going to break. And so then I just took the truck to the auction. I sold it for like $900. But that mechanic became my mechanic. After that, I was like, "I trust you." I am fearful of rust from that one experience. I never want to deal with it again. So if I could find a Tundra or something that's this side of the nation, not in Rustland, I might go for it. Stu B. Ham, Houston, Great content as usual. What is your outlook for GME tomorrow? Thanks. Tomorrow? Probably more of the same. Probably, I bet until after the first. Then we'll start to see, what type of actions the shorts try and take, what type of uh-ohs are coming from the options writers looking at that January 17th options chain. Let's see if the options, if the max pain has changed at all for January 17th. GME max pain. Nope. So right now max pain's $28. So max pain keeps going up each week. It was $26.50, moved to $27.50 by the end of the week. So max pain's at $28. So our floor is getting higher and higher, but dun dun dun. This guy right here, $20, January 17th. Oh shit. Right? That is not looking good for the options writers. Especially if people start buying huge in the monies going into the 17th, or buying 31 since that 30 and we see it spike to 35. Those numbers will get really, really big. What's options chain? Bing. Okay. January 17th. So we are all the way down here. The 30s are in the money right now. That's 3 million shares right there. Just at the 30s, just right now. Remember, max pain for the 17th is down here. There's 16,000 of them there. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 5, 6, 7, 52, 54, 57, 59, 63, 66, 98. So we had 9.8 million shares in the money above max pain just for the 20th right now. 9.8 million shares. If we do get crazy spikes that week, which we might, we could definitely push the 40s in there. We could be at probably almost 15 million shares, maybe more, right? And if we go even crazier, we could be at 20 million shares if we get up to 50, which is very possible if with this options chain building up. We're going to see some serious gamma ramping because they got to go, because of max pain, they have to go out and they have to buy all these shares from here on up because they do not have them. These are all naked right now. They probably have these, right? But my guess is most of this is all naked, and we're gonna see some serious gamma ramping going into the 17th. And if that happens, and they'll push the price up more, which makes them have to buy even more shares, which pushes the price up more, which makes them buy even more shares, and this stuff will just start adding up, heading into the following week. So they put 15, 20 million shares in the money that Friday, then you're looking at volumes back in the hundreds of millions of shares a day for the Monday leading into the was it 24th, and that's that week, that fourth week of January 2021 is when we saw the price go absolutely nuts because of the gamma ramping that happened the previous week when the yearlies went. So, right? We'll see where it goes. Floor dog, anything to add? No, you just sleep on the floor. Okay. Craig Green, why are some names in chat gray? Because some people have not been blessed with the membership, or haven't gotten a membership themselves. But by all means, get yourself a membership for Christmas, or buy them for other people. Help contribute to the War Rig Fund, and then we can bring you geology videos from the wild, right? Because the little convertible ain't gonna do it. Not enough. Yo, yeah, JM saw that video of them freak out. Oh, the drones, yeah. Daniel Lofstrom. Did Gaetz really get what he deserved? Biden is still in charge of DOJ, and mark my words, Merrick Garland will do nothing, but you just get off all the crimes, including rape now. Yeah, pretty much. pretty much. Yeah. Tampa Buckeye, holy crap, is that an ugly sweater? This is a beautiful sweater. Shall I give you another view? Look at this thing. It's Santa Claus. He's got his drinks, he's got his roaring fire, and he says, one night only. Right? Get yourself some Santa. Cran Green says everyone must be green. So EB says, "Lol." Cran Green, EB evading gifts, make him a mod. I should make EB. I can make EB a mod. I think. Can I? Wait, no. I gotta click on that one. I got a moderator. Why not? Boom. Okay. There you go. You get to be blue now, EB. Steve Bourne said, "We green today." Also, you can just be green. You know, we can be green every day if you become a membership member. I need to focus on the Patreon again. Once my Problemo coin thing failed because I couldn't afford to get it to anybody, I kind of fell off on the Patreon. Should probably, if I had a good Patreon going, I got 33,000 people in the subreddit now. Like, how do I get all those people to, A, come watch the show? That'd be nice if 33,000 people could watch the show. And B, contribute to a Patreon. Because I could get one hell of a war rig if they all just sent $1 a month to a Patreon. Be like, oh, well, we'll have a Lamborghini Urus. Yeah. Right, Monkey? You want a cool... You can't be seen in a lame war rig. Tampa Buckeye. When we built the canal, they killed so many workers, got malaria so bad they put bodies in barrels. Yep. It was just watch a documentary on the Panama Canal. You'd be horrified how many people died. Like, more people died building the Panama Canal than did during Vietnam. That's just crazy. Okay. Further productions. My wife was fired for whistleblowing abuse in the healthcare sector. She's been blacklisted in the industry, denied unemployment, and lawyers won't touch the case. I will chat with the CEO. Oh my goodness. Did she apply for federal whistleblower protection status? Make sure she files for that. Because if she's being retaliated against, then, you know, someone at the labor NLRB has to get involved, and the lawyers have to come in and do their darndest. So make sure your wife files for whistleblower status. Lisa Saw, 10 years since MH370 went missing, Malaysia has approved $70 million to resume the search. If it is at the bottom of the ocean, what state will the bodies be in? My guess, bones? You get down to the bottom of the ocean, there's all sorts of things there that will feast on them. And my guess, bones. That's what you'll find. The kitten is super cute. The kitten is super cute. And she is nestled a bunch of packages behind me that I need to mail out. And I just, oh my God. Speaking of packages, I still haven't done a drawing. Oh my gosh. I have to do a drawing. Not done that yet. Okay. I don't think I'll get to a show tomorrow unless weird things happen tomorrow. Christmas won't be doing a show on Christmas, hanging out with family. Maybe Thursday? All right, I have to do the spreadsheet Thursday. Then we do the drawing for last month's thingy of send out a whole bunch of packages that I still need to send. I need to send out like $600 packages. So far behind on that. Okay. Stevie Han, kid in the box. No say. Do you have hope the new admin will directly resolve or play a part in resolving MMTLP? Not one whit do I have hope for the new admin will do anything to help anybody except themselves. So I just don't see that happening. If it happens, fantastic. I'm wrong, but I don't see them helping anybody. I see them, in fact, probably reinforcing fraud and crime on Wall Street over anything else. Citizen 54, the only metal Trump and Elon need is lead. PB, lots and lots. Craig Green, wait and see. Power for change is gone at the moment. Merry Christmas, you beautiful souls. Stu B. Ham, snack time. Craig Green, nom. Nidwin, amazes me in the land of guns you allow all this corruption. Yeah. Just Blackwell, tow missile, javelin rockets. Talking about the wired missiles. Battlefield game vibes. Peachy Sunday, how long until Trump asks for a divorce from Elon Musk? I think if Saturday Night Live keeps hammering away, painting like Musk behind the Resolute desk, Musk telling Trump what to do, Trump being like, yes, sir. Like, if they paint Trump as a house slave, they make him Samuel L. Jackson's character from Django Unchained, then I think Trump his ego might not be able to contain how much he's been bought and paid for by Elon Musk. So yeah, I think that's. Come on, Saturday Night Live. You can make this absolutely dirty. What's crazy? So, last show during the show is when that Christmas market got run into by that guy in Germany, and turns out the dude was raised in Saudi Arabia. He had moved to Germany like 20 years ago. He became really virulently anti-Islam, and he joined the AfD. The AfD is the party that formed out of the remnants of the Nazi party. The AfD, largely considered Nazis in Germany. They're very pro-Hitler. They just don't fly the swastika because that's illegal, but everything else they do is very Nazi party. The day before, Elon Musk tweets out that he is going to financially secure a victory for the AfD in Germany. That they're the only ones who can win, right? The AfD is very pro-Putin. And then this dude runs into a crowd of people at a Christmas market rallying against Islam and immigrants, even though he's a former Islamic immigrant, and then pro-AfD. And you look at his tweet history. His tweet history was like, Elon Musk is right. I love Elon Musk. He's the greatest. So, hashtag Elon to Elof. Timber Buckeyes. I've actually used that device. That's accurate. Talking about the javelins. Antonio Baez, how do we protect ourselves and our family from bird flu? I mean, masks. You want N95 masks if you have to go out in public. You're gonna want to probably keep your pets like your like if it starts spreading really bad, I will probably won't let the fat guy's indoor outdoor cat. I probably won't let him outside, especially come spring when there's birds around everywhere and he catches one and starts nomming on it and he gets bird flu, right? So probably monitor the pets when they go outside. Know that if they go outside and they find dead animals, they're gonna nibble on them because that's what they do. So if they find a raccoon that's dropped dead, a bird that's dropped dead, right? They're gonna be like, oh, free meal, and that thing could be lousy with bird flu. One of the studies I read the other day showed that bird flu, especially cold times of year, so it's like 4 degrees Celsius outside, upper 30s, low 40s Fahrenheit. That it can last on feces for 2 months, in soil for up to 4 months. So, this thing will be out there, and yeah. So, if you do come down with bird flu, even if you come down with COVID, because COVID can get transferred to cats and stuff. If you do come down with bird flu, you're gonna have to keep away from your family. You have to keep away from your pets. Which, if you live alone, right? It's going to be how are you going to keep away from your pets? You got to feed them and stuff. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. So, um, yeah, yeah. You just gotta do what the epidemiologists say: masks, social distancing, clean things, right? And try to make sure your animals aren't out there like eating the dead stuff off the ground that drop dead out of the sky. Cran Green, bird flu is the new COVID. Only most will ignore it. No one trusts the authorities. Seems planned, in my opinion. I don't think it's planned. I think we've been seeing it for 10 years now. We just like, as long as it doesn't get this evolutionary factor to it, and now it has evolutionary factor, and now it's one more step, one more gain of function, and then it's going to be in the population. And oof. Tampa Bay Buckeyes, nobody wants $10 a pound chicken incoming. Cran Green, $10 US or Canadian. $20 Canadian. That's what it's going to be, Cran Green. Cran Green, for the love of God, please fill your pantry with things you will eat. Leave the spam for the degens who like it. Why is spam $4 in Canada? Spam's not that bad. Spam's pretty decent. You just got to eat it once a year, and then you're like okay with it. Don't eat more than that. Yeah. Cran Green's out here. Hey, good night, bud. Brandon Wells, sup? D, good evening, y'all. Snarlert, oi, Houston. Just buddies. I live in a community where you can get jumped for a single chicken nugget. Ain't no way. I'm talking about millions out there. Yep. Again, you win the lotto? No, you fucking didn't. You did not win the lotto. You create a trust, you create an LLC, you have somebody who is not you, some entity claim that ticket for you, or you sell it to someone. That's the key. No one should know. You just be like, hey guys, I'm gonna go traveling for a while. And then you go travel for a while. I was like, wow, that guy took a year off. He must have some good savings, right? And then you start living it up. Leave your community. If you hate where you live and you can afford to live elsewhere, go live elsewhere, right? Just, you did not win the lotto if you won the lotto. That's all I'm saying. Would not. You're a fine looking fella, Houston. It's just the shirt. It's the roaring fire on my sternum right now that's making you say things. Ryan Anderson, hey, a long time since I've seen you. Merry Christmas, Jimmy to the motherfucking moon. Yes, January, man. January. LMF 161. It's Taylor Swift's catalog was bought by Shamrock Holdings. I thought it was bought by Apollo. Am I totally wrong about that? Okay. Equity firm founded as Roy Disney's family's investment firm. Oh, Shamrock. So Disney's family firm was Shamrock Holdings, and Disney family remains the sole investor. Oh, so Disney's the evil ones on that. Huh. Apollo Global Capital Solutions business acquired the master rights to Taylor Swift's music. So they bought it. Okay. So please explain the master tapes thing. Okay. Bloomberg Capital, Taylor Swift catalog saga following the money. Exclusive facts about buying and selling of the catalog. Okay, maybe this music business worldwide thing will help me out here. Okay, so I'm getting two different things. 4 years ago this month, major music industry business story was bubbling away in Nashville. Founder of country indie powerhouse Big Machine label group had put his company up for sale. Shad BMG's reps had convened with several potential suitors, amongst them 3 major recording companies, Universal Group, Entertainment, Warner. Crown jewel BMG's catalog was Taylor Swift. According to music business, finalized deal, only one party, Scooter Braun's Ithaca Holdings, was significantly improved. $300 million price tag, Brashad Software Company. Summer 19 became Ithaca, was to buy BMLG and its sister publishing company for a combined price. The MBW confirms $330 million. What happened afterward fueled headlines, Fire Nation, business biz. Okay. So Ithaca was the first ones to buy it. And then Scooter Braun's company acquired Scott Borch's deal, including master rights, so another person joined in. And sent it to Ithaca Holdings had acquired Big Machine. Okay, we got that part. Okay, you're just saying the same thing all over again here. Okay, 64% stake, everything kicked off. Flame Braun, okay. Following release. Okay, that's all the drama about Borstein or whatever doing that thing. This is not helping me here. Okay. Taylor Swift songs, audiovisual artwork, blah, blah, blah. Blog. I want to know where Shamrock or Apollo or any of those guys come in here. It's a long ass article, and it keeps just seems to be saying the same thing over and over. So Ithaca. Okay. 23 Capital, Alex Soros, the Soros family, the Carlyle Group have been the latest balance sheets, realizing paying $300 music wasn't exactly a wise choice. So Carlyle, that's Bush family. Alex Soros, that's the Soroses. I don't know who's behind 23 Capital. So they've piled in there. So that's all 2020. And still fighting with Braun. Ithaca still blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. Dude, still fighting with Braun. Don't care about that. Okay, so Shamrock caused some puzzlement, including the authors. How could Scooter Braun continue to receive many years of future financial reward from the Swift Music after selling the Shamrock? So Shamrock somehow got in there. So hindsight, the recordings rights of Swift's first 6 albums may now be owned by Shamrock. But they continue to be distributed by Big Machine. Ithaca was bought by South Korean music giant HYBE. Okay, so now we got 23 Capital, Ithaca, 23 Capital, Carlyle Group, and Alex Soros, and Shamrock all involved. And then somehow this South Korean group, and still Braun. Also owns Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande music. Now this is 2022. It's now worth $740 million. Swift's music. Okay, so. So all of them more popular. Pulled in 2.46 billion on-demand audio streams in the U.S. Okay. So who has it? That ends there. So let's talk about 2022 in that one. So if Apollo Management Capital Solutions acquired the master rights to Taylor Swift's music. This is AI overview. So, who knows if that's. So investment fund believed to be Shamrock Capital Fund 2. Master rights, 6 albums, 2006 debut, 2007 reputation. Deals believed to have been worth over $300 million. Some speculate as high as $450 million. which was acquired by Scooter Bronze Holdings at a contract Big Machine. That does not tell me. Okay, well, maybe the Wikipedia article will help. Maybe if I just do Control F. Apollo. Apollo is not mentioned in there. So AI says it is, but that's probably because I was reading the same crap that the AI was reading. So at least Ithaca, Shamrock, 23 Capital, Carlyle, and Alex Soros are all involved. Okay, well, there you go. Oh, crud. I got it going. And then I'm off. A drone crashed into a kid in Orlando, Florida. Like a big drone or a little drone? It's like the little one bouncing off of him, giving some like little cuts from blades. Or if it's like a predator drone and just him and like an entire crowd of people blew up. And then I'm off with hemorrhaging money. How does DJT stay afloat? You got me. You got me. I don't know. I don't know how. Crime. I think they took out some giant loans and they sold some stock, so they got some cash on hand from that. But beyond that, I don't know. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everyone. I don't think I'll see you tomorrow. I probably won't see you until Thursday. So enjoy your Christmas. Hug people. High five. May it be merry and white. I don't know. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, may it be sunny and glorious and have a great beach day or something. Kitten, you adorable little monster. Yes, look at your little face. Oh, all right. Bye, everybody. Have a happy holidays. I will see you. Crap, I lost my thing. There we go. I'm going to do it after dark so that okay.